give it up to the youth. Loyal to the squad if we win or we lose. It is in our veins, that orange and the green running through and through. Cause you know we want it, your squad versus ours, now they don't really want it. Authentic reach deep with throws in abundance, get ready for the storm cause the hurricane's coming. Let's give it up to the youth, loyal to the squad if we win or we lose. It is in our veins, that orange and the green running through and through. Cause you know we want it, your squad versus ours, now they don't really want it. Authentic reach deep with throws in abundance, get ready for the storm cause the hurricane's coming.
What's good, Miami Hurricane Nation? This is your boy LiveWire in the house. All right, now we got some news on our quarterback, Tyler Ban Dyke. Apparently, now first before I start this video, I want to give a shout out to Alex Dono from Locked On Canes. He's one of my, I call him a good friend and a great guy that I have had the pleasure of having on my show, you know, doing some stuff, you know, with Miami Hurricanes. But nevertheless, great job for him keeping up with this story. Now, I did call his channel today, was talking about the rumors of Tyler Ban Dyke potentially thinking about transferring. Now, the one team that comes into mind is the Alabama Crimson Tide. Knowing that Alabama has just lost Bryce Young to the NFL draft, they don't have no experienced quarterback. They only have two on the roster. So yeah, Tyler Ban Dyke would make sense because Tyler Ban Dyke is very seasoned. He played 2 years under Miami. Now, he was hurt last year, so he was the starter for 2 years. Well, he was a half a starter for the year before because Manny Diaz was there, and Derrick King got hurt. But nevertheless, he finished the season, went on a tear. Now, last year was supposed to be a breakout year for Tyler Ban Dyke because me personally, I had him on that Heisman watch. I had him, you know, being in the top 4 for the Heisman, you know, with the new offense under Josh Gaddis, which that went up in flames, as we all know and suspect. Fast forward now to 2023, they got a new offensive coordinator. They got new weapons for him. They bossed the offensive line. But little to say, that's not the issue. The issue seems like it's his NIL deal, the money that he's making. Now, Alabama is trying to lure him over there. For what I have heard and listened to Alex Dono on Locked On Canes, make sure you subscribe to his channel also, that Mario and them are trying to talk Tyler from leaving, and, you know, might try to offer him more money to keep him there, you know. And me personally, I've been a Tyler Ban Dyke fan. If anybody has, you know, listened to my channel, they know I'm a huge Tyler Ban Dyke fan. I'm Tyler Ban Dyke all the way. I think I even say that he has that Tom Brady moxie. He has that, he's like Josh Allen almost, and I think he could be a top 3 quarterback in this year's, 2024 draft. But nonetheless, there's some knocks on Tyler Ban Dyke. Some say that his body language stinks, that when things get wrong, he seems to shrink his shoulders. They compare him and Jake Garcia, say Jake Garcia, no matter what goes down, Jake Garcia always become optimistic. Now, regardless of all of that, because I think Tyler Ban Dyke is a smart guy. He got his agent is Drew Rosenhaus, and we already know who Drew Rosenhaus is. I don't even have to go in detail to explain it to you, but nevertheless, I don't think Tyler Ban Dyke is going to leave. Me personally, if he does, I support him. I'm not going to get mad, but we already know the fans in Miami Nation is going to ridicule this young man, talk trash about him and stuff like that. In this day and age right here, fans turn on players quicker than you could cook instant grits. That's just how it is. Fans will roll with you when the team is doing good, but as soon as the team doing bad, first thing they say, oh, we need to put this guy in. We need to do this. None of y'all are coaches. None of y'all are geniuses. Y'all just watch the game just like we all and have our analysis. But nevertheless, I still support Tyler Ban Dyke no matter what. I love Tyler Ban Dyke. I've been a Tyler Ban Dyke fan. I'm highly on Tyler Ban Dyke. I want this year. I think he could be the #1 quarterback in the ACC. I think he could rival Caleb Williams over there in California to be one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the league. Like I said, Mario went out and wanted him to stay. Now, and they got everything that he need, And like I said, there ain't no surprise that Alabama came knocking or calling and, hey, let's go, do this. Now, Barry Jackson from the Miami Herald said that friends of Van Dyke didn't dispute the report. And like I said, his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, who handles all quarterbacks in the NIL deal, didn't comment. And Barry Jackson put this on his Twitter account. He said that Tyler Ban Dyke considered transferring because of NIL frustrations at Miami and more dollars elsewhere, per Kane's report. And I have no denial on this. Meanwhile, John Rios disclosed his own NIL plans amid recent news. So apparently, they could be working up something. They could trying to cook something to get Tyler Ban Dyke more money so they could keep him staying. And if the number comes correct, then he stays. And I think John Rios is going to do whatever it takes to keep Tyler Ban Dyke in the house. He's not going to allow Tyler Ban Dyke to get into the transfer portal and go there. But we gotta all understand, this is where we are now. This is where we are in the age of NIL deals. Because the fact of the matter is, you look at the 2 twins that came there on NIL deals, and they played one season, I guess, with the Miami women basketball team, and then they left. You know what I'm saying? They venture off because they was one of the top earners in the nation in NIL deals, and now they signed to a contract with the WWE. Tyler Ban Dyke, you can't fault the young man to want to maximize his opportunity to go elsewhere, because you got to think, Alabama is a prestige. Miami hasn't won anything in a long time. Yeah, you building a profit, but you got to think, going to Alabama, have a chance to go in the playoffs, have a chance to win a national championship, boosting your stock, and be like one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the nation, and potentially winning a national championship or making it to a playoff. Now, granted, the SEC ain't like the ACC, so you're going to have to come with some moxie. Nick Saban keeps that Alabama program very deep, very stocked up. And so therefore, Tyler Ban Dyke will flourish. Now, Tyler Ban Dyke would have to leave one program to all of a sudden turn around and learn a whole new program before the start of the season. You know what I'm saying? That was going to take a whole lot. Now, he might show some struggles if he did went to Alabama. But you got to think about it. Now, how would the other Alabama quarterbacks that's on that roster thinking they're going to get a shot to be the man, and then you bring this guy in through the transfer portal and he starts? You know what I'm saying? Tyler Ban Dyke, he actually could not come out this year and play with Alabama for 2 years and boost his stock even more and be the #1 quarterback on the board for 2025. Who knows? There's so many possibilities in this situation. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, if he did enter the portal to get more money and had a chance to start for Alabama, I can't knock him for that. You know what I'm saying? I can't knock him for that. Jake Garcia left. He went to Missouri. The only ones you're gonna have left on the roster is Ja'Cory Brown and Emory Williams, and they're going to be raw and unproven. You know what I'm saying? So Tyler is the only proven one there. The spring transfer window has begun since last Saturday. So therefore there could be so many different factors in this situation that where he can. Now, Tyler Ban Dyke has thrown 25 touchdowns with a 9.0 yard passing attempt in 2021. He accumulated 847 yards combined in passing in 2 games before suffering his shoulder injury against the Duke Blue Devils. So there's going to be a lot to watch on this. There's going to be a lot to look at this and say, hey, what are we looking at with Tyler Ban Dyke at this time? Is Tyler Ban Dyke going to stay at the University of Miami, or is he going to transition to go to Alabama? My guess, then you got a report by Albert Roberstein said that there's news trending out Thursday throughout the social media about Tyler Ban Dyke reporting interested in Alabama. Now, like I said, there was rumors before, but among substantial rumors are that Van Dyke has spoken with Alabama offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. And if nobody don't know Tommy Rees who was at Notre Dame, where he tried to get Tyler Ban Dyke over there, but Miami kept him in-house. Now Tommy Rees is over there again, and he's trying to get Tyler Ban Dyke again because there's a lot to unlock in potential with Tyler Ban Dyke. Yeah, it sucks that he got hurt last year. The offense was bad. The running game was bad. Everything was bad with Miami. But they want to give, the University of Miami wants to give Tyler Ban Dyke all the support he needs so he could go into the season being successful. You know what I'm saying? They could run the table and win the division. Who knows? But if say that John Railstone can't come up with the money to pay him more than Alabama, then we can't get mad at the man. He's a young man. Me personally, I can't get mad at somebody that wants to make more money and better their situation. That's just like being on a job. If you go to a job and you've been stuck in the same position for years and there's no growth in it, and you feel like you could do better somewhere else, then why not explore that opportunity? Explore that opportunity. Because the fact of the matter is, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then that's on you. You have to figure it out. And sometimes people come back. Without being in the transfer portal, Rees contact Van Dyke would be potential be tampering. That speculation, judging of Van Dyke and opinions about a potential transfer, has been rampant. Now, Jackson reported by Kingsport that Van Dyke he has received, like I said earlier, he has received numerous orders. But also, I'll go back to my guy, Alex Donald on Locked On Canes, summarized the websites that specifically cover Miami and that various reports about what has led to Van Dyke considering transfer. Donald speculates that Van Dyke consider a transfer is about more than the NIL deal Alabama could provide. Tyler Ban Dyke. Could he? Donald speculates that Van Dyke considering a transfer is more than the NIL deal. He thinks that it's more about Alabama could provide Van Dyke with better opportunities, which I alluded to. So it could be both. To be honest with you, it could be both. It could be about money and it could be about opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And then this is where Miami should have been really having a backup plan for quarterback. Because guess what? Could it be Emory Williams starting? We already had quarterbacks leave in the summer that transfer out. Could it be Ja'Cory Brown that takes the helm to start the season? Then you have to change the offense a little bit around between either one of these quarterbacks. Who knows? I mean, or you could go in the portal and get an experienced guy out of there just because of Tyler Ban Dyke. You know what I'm saying? And now that you already had all of these spring training, spring games and stuff like that, you should really know what you got. Now, if Miami pulls it off and keep Tyler Ban Dyke, it's a great thing. But if he leaves, then Miami going to have to figure out what they're going to do to really find out who's going to be the guy leading this offense. Both of your quarterbacks young. You might as well throw them in the fire if you feel that they could take it. But if not, go get somebody that wants to be a starter this year, and then you can worry about grooming them for next year. But nevertheless, a lot of us think that Tyler Ban Dyke is going to stay. I think so too. Now, if I'm wrong, I come back and say, hey, I was wrong. I wish the young man nothing but success. One of the things that Tyler Ban Dyke weighed in is that he transferred to Alabama. He would have to learn his fourth system in 3 years and compete to be the starting quarterback. At Miami, Van Dyke will be the starting quarterback. Unless something unexpected happens, until someone officially comments, everything is speculation. And that's all true, because you got to think about it. Tyler Ban Dyke goes to Alabama. He got to compete for the starting job. Say he don't get the starting job. Then you sitting down behind somebody else and waiting your turn when you could be at Miami and you could be the man. You know what I'm saying? You could be the man and all the pressure be on you to succeed. Now, if you go there and win the job with Alabama, and then guess what? If you struggle with Alabama, Nick Saban ain't going to waste no time pulling you. He not. Nick Saban did it to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts left the next year and went to Oklahoma. And guess where he at? The guy went to the Super Bowl, almost won it. Now he got a big deal in the NFL. So therefore, sometimes the grass is not always green on the other side, because you want to bolster your opportunities. The grass is not always greener. You know what I'm saying? And you got to really think to yourself, is I'm making the right choice? Yeah, the opportunity to present itself for Alabama, yeah. But there's no guarantee that Alabama will get in. You know what I'm saying? They'll get to the playoff, but will you be the guy leading them to the playoffs? Or will you be the guy that's just going to be on the roster and nobody hear from you anymore? So your future of how you want to be, perceived, you can stay at Miami, be the man, go to Alabama, and your future is in your hands from that point. So let me know, guys, what y'all think about Tyler Ban Dyke. Is he going to stay or is he going to go? Like I said, I'm 90% sure that he's going to stay. The other 10%, I'm just unsure about. So leave your like, comments, and thoughts. And check out my Season 2 premiere of Kings on the Daily starting May 1st. I'll be right here with y'all for more Kings update. Until then, peace out, guys.